This is part 2 of the test questions. So we were using this database over here. And if we look at the questions, so it said calculate the following and put the answers into the boxes below, noting that your answer should be rounded to the nearest 2 decimal places. Okay, so the average for people's skills. So if we go and we have a look at the average for people's skills, you will have a look. This is people's skills, and we want the average. All you need to do is you would put in the word average, and you'd show the range. We're looking at people's skills from the beginning of the range all the way to the end of the range. It was 201 if I'm not mistaken. So you'd go up and you'd look at that and close the brackets. And when we do that, you'd see that that's the average, 80.36. So you just use the formula, average, and you look at the range that we're looking at. The second question said the standard deviation for technical skills. Going back to the spreadsheet, we go to the standard deviation, and the formula for that one is standard dev. And again, it's for this, but now we're looking for technical skills. So it's the range F, and it's coming from F2 all the way to, I think it's F201, which is our range. And you can see that it's highlighted it already in the blue. And let's just make sure that we've got it to the right spot, and it is. And if I hit that, that will give us 16.67947. And again, we just want to round it off to the 2 decimal places. So it's 16.68. Okay, so that was your correct answer for that. If we have a look at the next one, the next question said the median for people skills. And what we're looking for the median and people skills, again, just the formula median. So Excel gives you all of this. People skills, that's in column E. We already know that we're going from E2, it's from cell E2 to E201, and now it's highlighted, as you can see in blue there, that, and if we do that, you get the median, which is 82.25. Great. Next one, the interquartile range for technical skills lies between, and with the 25th percentile and 75th percentile. And if we did this one, the formula you need is percentile. And you're looking at the percentile of, you need to have a look and see what did it say. We're looking for the interquartile range for technical skills. So let's go back to the spreadsheet. We go here and we're looking for technical skills. So we're looking for this range. So it's F2, in our case F201, and we're looking for 0.25, which is the lower end of that scale. And I haven't put in an equal sign in the beginning, but if I do it, there's 14, but we want the answer to 2 decimal places. And so it's exactly 14. It's exactly the same thing for the next one. So I'm just going to anchor it so it'll look at the same thing. So I'm putting those F4s in to anchor it. And if I copy it down, it's giving me that same range. But now I'm going to go in and change it. Instead of 2.5, I'm going to change it to 7.5. So it's giving me the 75. And now that will give me the range from 14 to 34.1. And if I have a look at this, there's that answer. So that was how you would answer question 8. How would you answer question 9? Now in this test, there was a little bit of an issue with question 9 because we were looking for the column, what we looked for looking for the values. It said is located in column D, the gender. And if we look at the spreadsheet, the gender was actually in C. So your answer would be the same, but for the C. And the formulas that you needed to put in for this one was if it equals females, 1 or 0. So it says if the value has a female, let's just have a look. Say that I want to create a new column of data that reflects 1 if it's a female and 0 if it's a male. If we have a look here, the formula would be if that particular column, so if you're actually doing it in the spreadsheet, it's C, but if you're answering it, it would have been D for the test that you gave, equals female, then put 1, otherwise put 0. As simple as that. If we allowed a number of different answers, and I'll explain that over here, because what I gave you was this one, but you could have done it with small d, big if, small if, but also you can see there's one over here that is correct. And all this is doing is saying if D2 is equal to nothing. If it's blank, then leave it blank. Otherwise, do the calculation. That's what that is doing. Question 10. So yeah, that one was correct, but they're all correct. Question 10. Your manager wants to know whether there is an unequal distribution of genders between the city officers for this example. Give the following answer to help you answer. Okay, so what they're looking at over here is of the New York employees, the percentage that are female, and of the Miami employees, the percentage that is male. So for question 10, the best thing to do is to use a pivot table, and you would create the pivot table, which I've created over here. And let me just move myself out the way. And what you were looking for with the pivot table is you want to filter it on city, and you want to filter, you want the column of values and the row of genders. So what we got here is to get a count and the gender. So we want to change this so that it actually gives the percentages. And what you've got is, and the question was stating, New York females. So if we go to New York, so we look at the city, you're looking, there's different ways of doing this, but you could do it this way, where you're looking at the percentage of New York females, and it's 46.43. And if we look at the answer, there you go, 46.3. And of Miami employees that are male, so there again, what I've done by putting in a filter is I can just go and filter the city. And if we put it by Miami, you would get the answer, and you could see which are male and female. And I've also put the counter, but you could do it by gender or per percentages. Over here, for instance, if I have a look at the field settings, you could look at count or whatever, or show data as, and that's where you put in the percentage of the grand total. You could change it to whatever you wanted to, but that's the thing. So please make sure you know how to use the pivot tables. Very, very useful. If we look at questions 11 and questions 12, what you've got is which city office has the worst average in people skills. So if we go to question 11, the worst average for people skills. So again, what I've done here is you're just having your city and the average of people. And what that average is of the people skills. And so when you're looking at it, and I'm looking for the worst city, the average would be New York. And so what I'd go over here and you'd have a look, and the answer would be New York. What is the average score for the city with the best or the highest score? 82.03. If we have a look here, I've got 82.03, and that would be Miami. So that's the score. If they asked the city, it would be Miami. If it asked the score, 82.3. Okay. Now, if we look at 13, in which segment, by both city and gender, which city-gender combination has the best technical skills? So we want to go over here, and we want to look at And what you would do over here is you're looking at the gender, you're looking at the city. So we put in city and gender, however you want to place that. And then we're looking at the technical skills and we're looking at averages. So there's your technical skills. So for my pivot table, I ask, what am I looking for? I'm looking for something with city, I'm looking for something with gender, and I'm looking for technical skills. And you can play around with it till you get the combination that looks like this. And I don't remember what the question was exactly. And the question said, if we segment both city and gender, which city has the best combination of technical skills? It was New York woman. And we have a look here, and we have the highest score for females in New York, which is over there, and that gives us the answer that we're looking for. So please make sure you can use pivot tables. Play around with it. It becomes easier and easier, obviously, as you use it. Of the city and gender combinations, what is the score for the worst performing combination on average technical skills? The average technical skills. So there you would have to go and, not sure if I've done the pivot table here, but you can just go and have a look and do something similar to get that. Question 15, what is the correlation between people skills and technical skills? Don't forget to round to your nearest, and we can see it's minus 17. So what you would do with correlation, it's actually a lot easier. You take your data and you put in your formula. So this would be your correlation, but your formula would be, it's correl. In fact, I need to put it in, need to put in my correl. And you want to correlate that and you want to correlate what's in the F for the same. So F2 to F201. And that would do a correlation for you. And if we get it to 2 decimal places, you will see that it's minus 0.17. And that would be your answer for that question. And then the 16th question, for the correlation in the previous section, which of the following is most correct? Technical skills are positively correlated. Now our answer was minus 0.17. So that's showing you whether it's positively or negatively correlated. It's a minus, so it's negatively. So that's incorrect. Technical skills cause a decline in people skills? No. Higher technical skills are strongly associated? No. Higher technical skills are probably weakly associated. Why do I say weakly? Because it is associated, but it's on minus 0.17. So it's less than 0.2. So it's weakly correlated. Great. And that's the end of those questions at the moment.